So, what if AI could not only find problems in our software, but actually fix them all on its own? Yeah, we're talking about a huge evolution here. We're moving way beyond simple assistants and into the world of autonomous agents. Think of them as these tireless guardians for our systems, making them self-healing.
All right, let's really dig into this quote because it perfectly captures the moment we're in right now. I mean, the pilot phase, that's over. We have fully entered the era of agentic AI, and this is key. It's where AI doesn't just respond anymore, it acts. It's a fundamental shift in how these things operate out in the real world. And look, we need to be clear here. This isn't just some small incremental update. No way. It's a massive leap in what AI can do. So let's break down what this agent leap is all about.
So the really crucial shift, the big idea, is moving from passive assistance to proactive action. Think about it like this. Generative AI, it's like a brilliant copywriter. I mean, it's amazing, right? But it waits for you to give it a command. Agentic AI, on the other hand, that's the entire project management team. It doesn't just sit there waiting for an assignment. It goes out, identifies a bug, figures out how to fix it, drafts the solution, and assigns the ticket. The whole shebang. It takes initiative.
Okay, so that brings us to the next logical question, right? If you've got these AI agents running around your systems, taking action all by themselves, how in the world do you make sure they're doing the right thing? How do you keep an eye on them?
And that right there, that's really the central challenge of this whole agentic era. The answer, it's a concept called observability. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a flight data recorder, a black box, but for an AI agent. It gives us this incredible ability to see everything that happened in granular detail so we can go back and understand exactly why the system did what it did.
So when you boil it all down, AI agent observability is really about answering three simple but crucial questions. 1, what is the agent actually doing? 2, why is it making those specific decisions? And 3, what was the final outcome? By tracking all those external signals, the logs, the metrics, the traces, we can start to piece together the agent's internal thought process so it's not just this complete black box.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. This chart reveals a fascinating trade-off. See, to get that really deep visibility into what an agent is doing, well, there's often a cost. You can see it right here in the benchmark. Some of the more comprehensive tools like LangFuse can introduce a bit of performance overhead, basically a slight slowdown. It's that classic trade-off, right? The more closely you watch something, the more resources it takes. And this really breaks down the why behind that overhead, because these tools, man, they are doing some serious heavy lifting. We're talking about logging every single step in the agent's workflow, running constant checks in real time. All of that data logging, that persistence, that's what adds just a tiny bit of latency. And that's where that performance cost comes from. So with all that context, what do these observability tools actually look like when you're using them? Let's take a quick tour of some of the major players in this space. All right, first up is Langsmith. Think of this as your high-powered microscope. It's the tool you grab when you need to see exactly what's going on step by step. It lets you trace an agent's reasoning to see precisely how it got from point A to point B. It's just incredibly powerful for debugging, especially when an agent does something you didn't expect. Then you've got something like LangFuse. Now, this is more of your high-level, business-focused dashboard. It's less about the nitty-gritty internal logic and way more about the practical impact. It's answering questions like, how much is this thing costing us in tokens? Which of our prompts are actually working best? And how are real users interacting with it? And then you can zoom out even further with tools like Arise Phoenix. This is all about the big picture, the long-term health of your system. This is what helps you answer those really important questions like, is my model's performance slowly degrading over time? Is it starting to drift away from what I originally designed it to do? Okay, so we've covered the theory, we've looked at the tools. Now let's see how this all comes together in a genuinely mind-blowing real-world example. We're talking about an autonomous site reliability engineer, an SRE. Basically a system designed to find and fix bugs in live software, completely on its own. It's wild. So here's a look at the architecture. Down at the bottom, you've got your basic infrastructure, running on Kubernetes. Up top, that's the application that's being monitored. But the real magic, it's all happening right there in that middle layer. That's a team of autonomous agents that are hooked into the tools we all use every day, like Jira for tickets and GitHub for code. And this is so cool. It's not just one giant monolithic AI. It's a crew of specialized agents, each with its own job. You've got the incident resolution manager, that's the orchestrator, the boss. It gets an alert and delegates tasks. It tells the Jira manager agent to create a ticket.
It sends the root cause analyzer in to dig through the logs and find the real problem, and then it calls in the code fix generator to actually write the patch. It's literally designed to mimic a super efficient human engineering team.
And here it is in action. This is the result. Over on the left, that's the problem. An incident ticket automatically created in Jira by the agent detailing exactly what went wrong. And on the right, that's the solution. A complete pull request right in GitHub with the new code already written by the agent, just waiting for a human to review and hit merge. I mean, that is just incredible.
And this is so important. None of this happens in a black box. Remember those observability tools we were just talking about? This is exactly where they shine. Every single action, every decision made by that agent crew is logged in a tool like Langfuse. This gives you a complete, totally transparent audit trail of the entire process from start to finish. So look, this example isn't just some cool tech demo. It's a real glimpse into our autonomous future. And when you start to look at the actual performance numbers, well, you really see how effective this whole approach is. Honestly, the results are staggering. Get this, in a simulated production environment, this autonomous system had a 73% success rate. Let that sink in. That means for nearly 3 out of every 4 incidents, it was able to generate a valid pull request that actually fixed the root cause of the bug. On its own. And then there's the speed. The average time from the moment an incident was detected to having a proposed fix ready to go? Under 28 minutes. I mean, think about that. This is a process that for human teams can often take hours, sometimes even days of manual digging and coding. So what's the bottom line impact? It's this. A 55% reduction in mean time to recovery, or MTTR. And that's the really critical metric, right? It's how long your system is actually down or not working properly. To cut that time in half, that is a complete game changer for reliability. So what we're really witnessing here, what this all points to, is a fundamental paradigm shift. We're moving away from a world where humans are constantly reacting, manually fixing broken software after the fact, and we're moving towards a future of proactive, intelligent, and truly self-healing systems. And all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. As these AI agents evolve from just being tools into becoming our autonomous colleagues, well, the whole nature of oversight has to change, doesn't it? The tools we build to observe them might just need to become as intelligent as the agents they're watching, which really makes you wonder, who's observing who?